In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was governor of Syria. This is how Luke begins the second chapter of his Gospel. What does it tell us about when Jesus was born? Augustus was the adopted heir of Julius Caesar, and after Julius Caesar died, there was a period of time when Augustus was one of several people ruling the Roman Empire, and then eventually he became the sole emperor of the empire. And we know of numerous censuses that happened during the time that Augustus was emperor. So can we narrow down that time frame by knowing that this was the first census that happened while Quirinius was governor? See, this is where it becomes a bit trickier. We know from both Matthew and Luke's Gospel that Jesus was born during the reign of Herod the Great. And from other historical sources, we know that Herod the Great died in 4 BC. So Jesus must have been born before 4 BC. But we have records saying that Quirinius was the governor of that area from 6 AD, which is 10 years after Herod died. So how can this make sense? There are a few possibilities here. Let me list 3 of them. First possibility is that Luke just made a mistake here. He got the details wrong. Now we know that Luke was a careful historian in other parts of his works, and a lot of what he wrote does line up very well with what we know from other historical sources. But maybe he just made a mistake here. The second possibility is that we've actually translated Luke's Gospel slightly wrong. You see, the phrase that says, "This was the first census that happened while Quirinius was governor of Syria," could be translated as, "This was the census that happened before Quirinius was governor of Syria." Now, that's not the most obvious translation, but it is a possible translation. The third possibility is that there's some history going on here that we don't fully know about. The word translated governor there when talking about Quirinius is not actually a title governor, it's more like a ruler or someone who is in a position of authority. Even though we know that Quirinius was governor from 6 AD, it's possible that he was governor or some other position of authority earlier, during the time when Herod was still alive. All 3 of these possibilities have arguments for and against them. Which one's true? It's very hard to say. There'll be no new videos over the weekend, but I'll see you on Monday on Storytime with Josh.